Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to make informed decisions. Guys, if you're getting misinformation and lies or partial truths, you're probably going to wreck yourself. So if you're tired of that, I do my research for me. I have a financial background and I share with my community. Now, I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I do try to tell you what you need to hear. In this video, we're going to talk about when and what to expect from altcoin season. Now, we're just going to use charts and probabilities and history to come to our conclusion, but I think it's very important to kind of have a big picture of what we're probably looking at and somewhat of a timeline. That way you can get a game plan. So hit the like button. Let's dive into it. Now, before we do, I just want to say this. I can't be more bullish. I believe this is going to be literally the biggest opportunity in history, and it's going to be explosive, extended bull run. And I don't think there's anything stopping this bull run outside of a black swan event. And even if we had a black swan event and we woke up tomorrow and Bitcoin somehow just crashed, I would think it's a gift and absolutely load the boat. So that's my position. I want to make that clear. But just because I'm long-term bullish doesn't mean I'm not short-term bearish sometime, and that throws a lot of people off. But anyway, let's talk about history. When you look at this chart, guys, this is a historical chart of others. Others is the chart of all the altcoins excluding the top 10. That's this chart here. Now, when you look at this pink chart, that is others compared to Bitcoin. As you can see, all of us would have been better off holding Bitcoin for, this bear run. Actually, for the most part, forever from the beginning, if you were looking to hodl. Guys, I can't say it enough. If you hodl, you're probably going to wreck yourself. Outside of Bitcoin and a handful of projects, 90% of all projects never make a new all-time high in its second bull run. And 99.9% of all projects ever created that didn't hit a new all-time high in its second bull run never hit one in their third bull run. I don't like those odds. Something to think about. But anyway, if you look at others, every time for the most part it comes down and touches this line or gets close to this line, it starts to rally. So that's a really good time to think about buying more of the altcoins. That being said, it could go down this line, it could bounce and then just go back and it could break this line. That being said, all we can do is probabilities. For me, if I was looking to buy now, and I would consider dollar cost averaging in. And if I dollar cost average in and it goes up, I'm good. If it goes and breaks this line and then breaks it even more, I'm just going to keep buying all the way down because I truly believe that it is going to bounce. And when altcoin season gets here, it's going to absolutely explode. Now let's look at something. You know, when we look at history, what can it tell us? I truly believe, guys, you want to focus on the projects that are new. And if you're going to focus on the older projects, find the ones that have been extremely strong in this bull run, maybe led this bull run, like Injective or Render or Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Why would you want to buy a project that is maybe barely up or only done a 1x or something in the last 3 or 4 years when some of these projects have 3 or 4x their all-time high? Those are the horses that are probably going to outperform everything else. Now, why do I say that? Well, history has showed it, but look at this, guys. Check this out. If you go back to the 2016 pre 2017 bull run, they had a pretty good pump. Look at that. At the line pumped. That's a preview Now look, comes back, boom, altcoin season, right? And then it corrects again and takes off, and it's game over, life changing money that all started from that preview. So my guess is the projects right there that were doing the best were the ones that you wanted to ride up. Now, you look back to 2020, it didn't get to the line, but it did turn, and that was a pretty good run, but that was pre altcoin season. But look at this, guys. Once the halving started, you had a good little preview, had a really good preview, and it came down basically to the line and it took off, and you had an explosive altcoin season. Well, let's look at where we're at now. We're at this line. Could it break it? Absolutely. But what I wanted to see how they start to come together, maybe touch, maybe cross. That's what I want to see. So from this chart, I don't think it's just going to turn around. I think that Bitcoin's going to keep getting stronger, and maybe say somewhere around here, which is May or something like that, maybe a little bit before April, you could see this be the best and last buying opportunity of really good prices before altcoin seasons. Now, in my opinion, no matter what, we are in a bull run. Not all projects are doing extremely well, but most projects should be up from their lows of the bull market. And if they're below that or making new lows, I might stay away from those. Now, if you're a trader or swing trader, they're probably going to bounce off the bottom, but I would stay away from them. I'd rather buy the dips of the really powerful, projects like SUI or Render or Injective, something like that. Anyway, so to me, what this chart tells me, maybe April and May. It could happen a lot faster. Some people could say it could happen, as soon as January. Wouldn't shock me, but they would have to, Bitcoin would have to keep dominating, which it could, and then they would, others would need to start rallying a little bit. All right, let's talk numbers. In this bull run right here, it took, I think it was the first one, it took 530 days for Bitcoin to top out, and you got true explosive altcoins, right? In this bull run, it was 579 days after the halving before Bitcoin topped out. Well, if you average those together, that rolls us into like September the 2nd or November the 10th. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to happen. It could happen 2 months earlier, 3 months, and 2 or 3 months after that. But it gives us a guideline, something to think about. But no matter what, for me, at somewhere probably 3 months out, maybe July, August at the latest, the money I take out will not go back in. Now, I'm going to stay in the game until it's game over, but I'm not going to be buying the dips when we're pushing the historical area of when, the game's over. Just something to think about. Now, so another thing that lines up with this chart is when Trump gets in the White House, it's going to take him a little while to start printing money, but we know they're going to print, and hopefully we get like two more cuts. So if you go, to what is it, January? Oh no, what is it, February 21st or whatever it is? You got March and April, say May, money printers on. I think everything will be pumping. That doesn't mean we're going to be in altcoin season, but the bull run will be extremely strong, in my opinion. And I believe if we get a dip anytime soon, it's by that dip, because the closer we get to Trump getting in office and all that process coming and all that bullish news, it's just going to get less risk and less risk. So something to think about. If altcoin season starts early, right? Like say March, April, something like that, it may end early. A lot of people say, well, look, this is this cycle's different. It could be. But outside of Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high pre-halving, it's somewhat a lot alike. But if it hit new all-time high pre-halving, it could basically end the whole cycle earlier. But I'm in the camp of this is going to be a longer, more dominant, badass bull run. Yes, it started earlier because it's so strong. And with everything going to go on in the economy and in the world and all the positive stuff that's coming out, I think everything's going to pump. Crypto, stocks, antiques, real estate, pretty much all asset classes are going to start to rip. People are going to have more money. They're going to feel wealthier. Uh, the people that have been buying Bitcoin are going to have a ton of profits to take out at least a handful or two to start diving into altcoins. I can't be more bullish. So, anyway, guys, to sum this up, I believe that the bull market has started. No ifs and buts about it. I think that the altcoins are going to bleed some more for the next couple of weeks against Bitcoin. Now, a few are not, but as a rule, the others, everything outside of the top 10, are probably going to bleed against Bitcoin. But then when they come together, it's time to really pay attention and get ready for altcoin season. I think altcoin season would be early, say March or April, and it could be as late as September and October. That being said, guys, if you don't take profits, you're going to become the prophets. And every day you hold these altcoins toward the end of the bull run, yes, you might be making more money, but you're going to wake up buying those dips. You're going to be down 25, 35% in a day. And you're like, it's a dip. And then it's another day, it's a dip, and another day, and it's game over. And you've gave back all those massive gains. 90% of people lose money. You don't want to be in that 90%. So get a game plan that you can make money and capitalize on this opportunity and keep the gains. You got to have a strategy. And why do I say that? Well, guys, I do one-on-one coaching. It's only $250, and we'll get you a game plan, look at your portfolio, talk about your risk reward, what you're trying to accomplish, and if you need help dollar cost averaging in or out or whatever it is, I'll be there for you. Now, whether you take me up on that or not, do yourself a favor, and this is not financial advice, but get a game plan and stick to it because the FOMO and the FUD is going to kick in. And if you don't have a game plan, you just start bouncing around and getting excited and then getting down and buying this and selling that, you're going to get wrecked. And guys, no matter what, the only people that get rich in crypto are the ones that sell. Hodlers do not get rich. Yeah, if people been in for, 3 bull runs and they bought back in 2016 at the bottom or 17 at the bottom and they've held long term, even the projects like XRP and XLM that didn't make new all-time highs, they still did okay. But what if they would have took profits in the first bull run, bought back in the second or in the bear, sold in the next bull run, and so on and so forth? They would be 10x, if not 100x better off. Hodling is the number one way to get wrecked, in my opinion. All right, guys, remember this. If the majority were right, the majority would be rich. Take profits or you'll become the prophets. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But either way, guys, come back and be part of this community. Take care.